What's up, y'all boys? It's Bugs. Welcome back to the channel. And today I'm gonna be talking about 2025 video game predictions. I'm probably gonna be focusing on Nintendo. Just off the top of my head, but I might talk about some other stuff. Like I might talk about PlayStation, Xbox a little bit, but mostly Nintendo. And just predicting what I think is gonna happen throughout most of next year. 2024 is coming to a close. It was a all right year, I say. Wasn't the craziest. I mean, in terms of the Nintendo's release lineup, like personally speaking, I didn't really buy too many games from Nintendo this year just because most of the games that they were dropping were not of particular interest to me. Like a couple of ports, a couple of remasters, a few new things, but nothing insane. But to get it started, the first thing off the rip, I mean, elephant in the room, gotta address it. Nintendo Switch 2 and whatever their next direct is gonna be, right? It's like if Nintendo, I mean, we don't know when this thing is supposed to drop. For the longest time throughout most of this year, I was predicting that it would have come out by now, actually, because I was anticipating like a holiday release, but that was way earlier in the year. I mean, pretty much by like June, that was dead in the water because there's no way they're gonna give it like less than 3 or 4 months of build up and marketing. But that kind of leads into the point that now that it's about to be this next year, I hear there's some rumors, a couple of leaks about Switch 2 that are dropping. But most of those are mostly about like what it looks like and what we can expect to see from the physicality of the system, as opposed to how Nintendo is gonna market it. Aside from a couple of things, I mean, I know Fioro, right? One of the most famous, I guess you could say infamous. It don't really matter, but Fioro is one of the guys on Twitter that has he's garnered notoriety for himself based off of the fact that he's been leaking Nintendo stuff really, really well. His track record is pretty crazy. He's basically a prophet. And most people have figured it out that the reason he's able to do that stuff is because of the Nintendo eShop backend. So he's missed like one of the past couple of directs. But the point I'm getting at is most of the stuff that we know about is physicals, like the specs of the Switch 2, but not the games lineup. Like what games are gonna run on it, when exactly is it gonna drop, like all that stuff, like the frivolous details, basically, like how much is it gonna cost. And so that's what I'm gonna get into. And mind you, I think I put out a video kind of similar to this back in like September. Um, but I'm gonna just hit the topic again just because I mean it's pretty important. New year, new predictions, and new stuff for Nintendo to announce. So let's get into it. First prediction, I predict that. What do I think is gonna happen? The first thing I'm willing to commit to is I think that Switch 2 is gonna be $400. Like I think they're gonna lock it in. I don't know when exactly they're gonna announce it. They could announce it basically whenever, but I think that 2025 Nintendo Switch 2 is $400, which I guess that's the other thing. Let's lock it in. It's insinuated, but let me lock it in. Nintendo Switch 2 releases in 2025. Like it's gonna release, it's gonna come out. I don't think there's a chance that Nintendo just skips next year entirely. That would be egregious, honestly. But Nintendo Switch 2 releases next year. Next prediction. I think that we're going to see a Nintendo Direct within the first 2 months of the year. So by the end of February. I think we're gonna have a Nintendo. Actually, let me revise that. Not just a Nintendo Direct. I think we're gonna get some kind of Nintendo live stream. Let me say that, because they could not say it's a Direct, and then by technicality, I'm wrong. So let me revise that. We're gonna get some kind of future of Nintendo-based games reveal event that's gonna have a live stream. Now, whether that's a Direct, a dedicated presentation, maybe they go on stage, I don't know, to be honest. But there's gonna be some kind of a live stream event. In terms of games that I think are gonna drop next year, I think next year we're gonna see a couple games. First of all, I think that Prime 4 is gonna drop, and I would say Prime 4 releases by September. I would be kind of surprised if it takes longer than that. This will pair with the fact that I think that Switch 2 will release, I want to say, well, actually, do I want to revise that? Nah, I'm gonna commit. I think that Switch 2 is gonna release in the first 9 months. Let me say, Switch 2 is gonna release in the first 9 months of the year. So before the specific holiday period, and I think that Prime 4 is also going to release within that first 9 months. Now, this is giving me kind of some leeway for whether or not I think it's going to be a launch title or not, because I'm actually unsure now if it's going to be a launch title or not. For the longest time, basically since the day they announced the original development restart, I thought that Prime 4 was going to be a cross-gen game. I still do think it's going to be a cross-gen game, but now I'm thinking that even though it's going to be cross-gen, it doesn't mean it's going to be launch day, because I just have zero idea of the state of that game's video game development. Like, I just don't know where they're at in the pipeline with that. So I just think that there's a chance that it doesn't come out on launch. Like, for example, it could be something as simple as, a public delay. We're gonna delay it like another 3 months just because we want to Q&A test it, or we want to play test it, make sure that it's working well. Like, Nintendo's done stuff like that before. I think they did that with Mario Wonder. I think that we're gonna get new Mario Kart finally. Now, this one I'm gonna be a little more bold on. I think that we're gonna get a new Mario Kart at launch, or let's say launch window. So I think within, kind of like how they did with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And the reason why I say that is because I think Nintendo cracked the code with 8 Deluxe on how Mario Kart can sell to its maximum potential. This kind of dates back to, I want to say, Mario Kart DS. Not sure about that one, but basically for the past couple of Nintendo consoles, especially for the past couple of Nintendo systems, especially the consoles, the Mario Kart brand, or like that franchise, has done really well selling. It's usually like a top 3 seller, aside from, let's say, Pokemon, if it's competing with Pokemon. The Switch definitely showcases that. The Switch, the Wii, the DS, etc. And so I think Nintendo's gonna try the same thing. They're gonna try to get a Mario Kart out there within the first 6 months of the system, so that it could just be there for the entirety of the system, and they don't have to worry about putting out a Mario Kart, because they already got a Mario Kart and is selling the entire generation. It's one of the most evergreen titles they got. It will sell like hotcakes, bro. Every holiday period, every Christmas, like every end of the year, it's just gonna be selling like hotcakes. They're gonna do that probably in the first 6 months. I vaguely remember Donkey Kong rumors, and I know this is gonna sound so random, but I genuinely believe that we're gonna get some type of Donkey Kong announcement. Once again, this is just based off of the fact that, as far as I remember, a good while back, there was all this discussion about Donkey Kong and all this talk about like back when the Super Mario Bros movie had came out, there was like, oh, Donkey Kong is he's about to get a bunch of stuff, like he's about to get a game, he's in so much media, he's in the movie. They were doing something with him in a direct, I think, don't quote me on that. And last I heard, the only thing Donkey Kong that was really going on for real was that remake of Donkey Kong, Mario vs. Donkey Kong on GBA. That's it. Right? So it's like, and then ever since then, it's just gone completely silent. Like radio silence. Everybody's MIA on the topic. Not me though. I'm 10 toes down. So I'm gonna say that Donkey Kong is gonna get something announced. Like specifically, let me lock in my prediction. Specifically, I think that Donkey Kong is going to get a game announcement of some kind at the Nintendo presentation we'll get in the first 2 months or so of the year. I know a lot of people are like anticipating Smash Bros to make a return. I don't know. I've got no faith in that happening anytime soon. Maybe because I cannot visualize what Sakurai or whoever else would helm Smash Bros wants to do with the series. I just can't think about what direction they'd want to take it. I don't know. I got no clue. The only thing I can think of is, obviously I would suggest a reboot, like just reboot the franchise, switch up the mechanics, change the way the game works on the fundamental level, but besides that, I got no clue. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that we're not gonna see Smash Bros for the entirety of like the first year of Switch 2. Of course, there's gonna be probably a Kirby game. There's probably gonna be a Kirby game. I think that there's a good chance that there's, let me say Kirby or Animal Crossing, one of the two, because they kind of, they don't fit the same niche, but it's a similar niche. So I say Kirby or Animal Crossing is gonna be there. I think we're gonna get tons of third-party support in that direct. Like we're gonna get NBA 2K, we're gonna get Call of Duty, right? Because Call of Duty has signed that contract situation with PlayStation and Xbox and them. We're gonna get, we might get Madden. I'm not sure about Madden because EA be, I don't know what they be on, but we might get Madden. But we'll definitely get FIFA. Right, like they're gonna confirm all of these games. Trust. Switch 2 is probably gonna get Sparking Zero. I know that's a random one, but it's true. They're probably gonna announce that at the jump, like out the gate. What else do I think they're gonna announce? Oh, new 3D Mario. Now I don't know. Now here's the thing, right? I have been predicting that it's about time for new 3D Mario, and I mean like a new 3D Mario, not Odyssey 2. But the thing is it's dependent upon whether or not Prime 4 is gonna be there, because I don't know if I want to predict 3D Mario as like the major new game and then Prime 4 as the major game that we already kind of know about, or if it's gonna be two brand new games that's there, or if they'll just save 3D Mario. Because like I think we're gonna get new 3D Mario within the first year of Switch 2, but I'm not sure if they're gonna reveal it in that first reveal event. Obviously it makes sense for them to just do that, but it depends on if we get some other new IP. Of course, off the top of my head, I'm writing off things like Zelda because I think it's still been a little too soon since Tears of the Kingdom, and Echoes of Wisdom in terms of the 2D front. And then Xenoblade Chronicles, I'm writing that off as well because 3 had came out in 2022, I believe. Let me double check that. July 29th, 2022. Okay, yeah, same year as Splatoon 3. I remember that. Okay. So, I mean, it could be time for a new Xenoblade Chronicles. It's just whether or not they're willing to do Xenoblade Chronicles 4, because I I'm pretty sure that they're doing the port of X. So, they might not want to do that yet. As a pipe dream, one last thing, one more thing announcement. Basically, no chance in hell this happens, but hey, I'm gonna just throw it out there because that's what I want. I say they're gonna announce a new Kid Icarus title. Definitely not happening, but hey, a man can dream. What do y'all think Nintendo's gonna announce, man? 2025. Like, how do you think Nintendo's gonna do? They're gonna have a good year, a bad year? What games do you think they're gonna announce? Um, what do you think they got up their sleeve, man? Let me know in the comments below. Like the vid if you like the vid. Subscribe if you're not. And I'll catch you on the next one, man.